Listen, this is for you, especially if you're in Amsterdam right now, scrolling late, pretending you're fine while your chest feels heavy for no reason. If your phone is bright, but your heart feels dim, stay. Because I'm not here to hype you up with fake positivity. I'm here to tell you the truth nobody says out loud. The strongest people are usually the ones silently breaking. You laugh, you work, you reply, haha, while you're actually tired of being the one who understands everything. And the worst part, you don't even want revenge. You just want peace. You just want one person to look at you and mean it when they say, I'm here. So don't scroll. Don't skip. If you've been left on scene, if you've been the one who loves harder, if you've been waiting for a message that never comes, this is your sign that you're not crazy, you're not too much, and you're not asking for impossible things. You're asking for basic care. And if someone can't give you that, it's not your job to shrink until they stay. Stay with me for 1 minute. I'm going to say the words you deserve to hear a long time ago. Listen, this is for you, not for the crowd, not for the comments, not for the people who treat feelings like content and then move on the second the next trend shows up. This is for the person who's reading quietly, the one who doesn't announce what they carry, the one who keeps showing up even when nobody claps for it. If that's you, don't rush, don't skim. Just breathe for a second and let this land the way it's meant to. Because I'm not speaking from a stage right now. I'm speaking from the kind of place that only exists when everything finally goes quiet. I don't know your name. I don't know your exact life. But I know the energy of a person who's tired of being strong. I know what it looks like when someone keeps functioning while their heart is begging for one honest moment of softness. I know what it feels like to have a mind that won't stop and a chest that keeps holding things in because it's easier than explaining them. And I know that a lot of people like you live in silence. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you're tired of saying it to the wrong people. So listen, this is for you. There's a thing I've learned the hard way. The world will take everything you give it. Your time, your energy, your youth, your attention, your patience, your kindness. It will take it without ever telling you thank you in a way that actually fills you. And if you're not careful, you start measuring your worth by what you produce, what you achieve, what you survive, what you carry. You become the reliable one, the strong one, the low-maintenance one, the person everyone leans on, but nobody asks what it costs you to be that person. They don't ask what happens when you go home and your room is quiet and your phone is silent and your mind keeps replaying conversations you never finished. They don't ask what it feels like to hold your own heart like it's fragile glass while the world keeps demanding you act like steel. I'm asking now, not in a dramatic way, in a real way. How are you actually? Not fine, not I'm good, actually. Because if you've been waiting for someone to ask that and actually mean it, consider this your sign that you're not invisible. You're not too sensitive. You're not too much. You're not weak for feeling everything deeply. If anything, you've been strong for too long. And being strong for too long changes you. It makes you cautious with hope. It makes you suspicious of kindness. It makes you overthink compliments because you're used to being used. It makes you read silence like a threat because you've learned what silence can do when it arrives from someone you love. So listen, this is for you. I want to tell you something simple, something I wish more people understood before they hurt each other. The people who care the most often suffer the quietest. Not because they don't feel pain, but because they're too practiced at hiding it. They don't want to be a burden. They don't want to ruin the vibe. They don't want to seem needy. So they smile. They adjust. They forgive quickly. They keep giving until one day they don't. And when someone like that stops caring, it looks calm. It looks like distance. It looks like I'm fine that actually means I'm done. And everyone is shocked because they didn't realize you were bleeding the whole time. If you've ever been that person, if you've ever been the one who gave too many chances, who explained your needs too gently, who waited for someone to notice without you begging, then you already know the kind of pain I'm talking about. It's not a loud pain. It's the pain of being unseen while you're standing right there. It's the pain of sending a message and watching the scene appear with no reply. It's the pain of feeling your love become inconvenient to someone who used to call you their favorite part of life. It's the pain of realizing you were fighting for something the other person had already stopped protecting. Listen, this is for you. If you've been through that, I need you to hear this clearly. You don't need to earn basic care. You don't need to audition for love. You don't need to shrink your needs to keep someone from leaving. Anyone who requires you to become smaller so they can stay comfortable is not loving you, they're consuming you. Love is not supposed to feel like begging. Love is not supposed to feel like guessing. Love is not supposed to feel like you're always one wrong sentence away from being abandoned. Real love feels like safety. Not perfect safety, life is messy, but emotional safety. The kind where you can say, that hurt, and the other person doesn't call you dramatic. The kind where you can be tired and not have to explain why. The kind where your softness is protected, not tested. And I know you might have stopped believing that kind of love exists, because disappointment teaches you to expect less. But expecting less is not healing, it's survival. And you deserve more than survival. You deserve a life where your heart doesn't have to armor up before every conversation. You deserve a relationship where you don't have to translate your pain into jokes just to keep peace. You deserve someone who reads your silence the way it's meant to be read, not as attitude, but as a signal that you need closeness. Listen, this is for you. I'm going to say something that might sound harsh, but it's meant to free you. Stop trying to convince people to love you properly. Stop sending long paragraphs to someone who keeps replying with one word. Stop explaining your worth to someone who benefits from you doubting it. Stop begging for effort like it's a gift. Effort is not a gift. Effort is the minimum when someone truly cares. And if they can't give you that, don't keep offering your heart like a discount. Don't keep lowering the price of your love until you feel empty. Because the most dangerous thing isn't heartbreak. The most dangerous thing is slowly becoming numb. Numbness feels like peace at first, but it's not peace. It's your nervous system giving up. It's your heart saying, I can't keep doing this. And once you become numb, you start attracting the wrong people because you stop shining in the way you used to. You stop dreaming out loud. You stop expecting good things. You stop reaching. And life starts feeling smaller. I don't want that for you. I want you to remember that you are allowed to want more. You are allowed to want someone who chooses you without making you compete with their ego. You are allowed to want consistency, reassurance, and real communication. You are allowed to want a love that feels like home, not like a test. Listen, this is for you. I also want to speak to the part of you that keeps blaming yourself, because I know it's there. That voice that says, maybe I asked for too much. That voice that says, maybe I wasn't interesting enough. That voice that says, maybe if I was prettier, smarter, calmer, quieter, more patient, they would have stayed. No. The truth is simpler and more painful. Sometimes people leave because they are not capable of loving you the way you deserve. Not because you weren't enough, because they weren't ready, because they were selfish, because they were distracted, because they wanted the benefits of you without the responsibility of you. And that is not your failure. That is information. Information that saves you years of self-erasure. So if you're still carrying guilt for someone else's inability to show up, I need you to put it down. Not because it didn't hurt. Because carrying it doesn't change what happened. It only changes what happens next by making you smaller. And you weren't made to be small. Listen, this is for you. If you're single right now, I want you to understand something. Being alone is not the same as being unlovable. Sometimes being alone is the first time your heart gets quiet enough to recover. Sometimes being alone is the safest season you've had in years because nobody is draining you. Sometimes being alone is where you learn to hear yourself again. And if you're in a relationship right now that feels like constant anxiety, constant uncertainty, constant self-doubt, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you the truth. Love should not feel like you're always afraid. A relationship that makes you afraid is not a relationship. It's a situation. And you deserve a relationship, not a situation. Listen, this is for you. I'm going to give you a small challenge, something practical, something that can shift your life without you needing a big dramatic decision tonight. Pay attention to how people make you feel after you interact with them. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel safe? Do you feel seen? Or do you feel drained, confused, insecure, and like you have to perform? Your nervous system is honest. It will tell you what your mind keeps trying to justify. And if someone keeps making you feel like you have to earn their attention, that is not romance. That is emotional manipulation disguised as mystery. Don't fall for it. You are not a toy. You are not a backup option. You are not a maybe. You are a whole human being. And your heart is not something people get access to just because they want it in the moment. Listen, this is for you. I also want you to know something about timing. People love to say, right person, wrong time. Sometimes that's true, but sometimes wrong time is just an excuse people use when they don't want to commit to being consistent. If someone really wants you, they don't keep you in confusion. They don't keep you guessing. They don't disappear and return when it's convenient. They communicate. They show up. They protect the connection. So don't romanticize crumbs. Don't turn bare minimum into destiny. You deserve the full thing. Listen, this is for you. And if nobody has told you this lately, let me tell you now. You are allowed to start over. You are allowed to change your standards. You are allowed to walk away from people who keep hurting you, even if you still love them. Love is not a reason to stay where your soul is shrinking. Love is not a reason to accept disrespect. Love is not a reason to keep bleeding quietly. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is choose yourself. And choosing yourself does not mean you stop believing in love. It means you stop believing love is supposed to hurt this much. Listen, this is for you. One day, you're going to meet someone who doesn't make you feel like a problem to solve. Someone who doesn't treat your emotions like an inconvenience. Someone who hears your silence and comes closer, not farther. Someone who doesn't make you prove your worth because they can see it. And when that happens, you'll realize how unnatural your old anxiety was. You'll realize you weren't too sensitive. You were in the wrong environment. You were trying to bloom in a place that didn't water you. So don't give up. Not on love. On the wrong people. On the wrong patterns. On the version of yourself that keeps returning to what hurts because it's familiar. Familiar is not the same as safe. Listen, this is for you. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Stop pouring into people who don't pour back. Stop chasing clarity from people who benefit from your confusion. Stop accepting silence as a relationship. Stop translating disrespect into maybe they're just stressed. Protect your heart like it matters. Because it does. And if you ever forget that, come back to these words. Because I meant them. This was for you. Not for everyone. Only you.